Recording of a recorded video.
I know. I was just thinking that. Yeah, it's like very meta.
That's
So
the
that
second one I made. The first one I pointed. I had it on my left screen, which is Blancan, and the flicker was just too much.
Interesting.
I didn't try to match. I guess the camera and my iPad didn't try to figure out the frequency or whatever. It's CRT tubes are so rare these days anyway. So
that they are. Cool. So I think we're probably pretty good here.
Yeah, I fixed everything I could find. So
yeah, so I think let's go for it. Like it looks like you addressed all my comments. I don't see any of them hanging out anymore. I think the Grafana panel stuff looks, yeah, this is about what I was imagining. So I think we should be good. I mean, probably just do like a follow-up fix if we find something that's a little off. So
how hard would it be to roll back if something unexpected happens and it's serious?
Not hard.
Then go.
Yeah. Pretty much. The button's all the way at the bottom. It's a very long PR. Or no, that's right. I have to go back to conversation and then I can click the merge button.
I feel like I came in at the exciting part.
Yeah. Merging is blocked. I can merge anyway. I guess I could technically.
All those advertisements are going on about. I get lots of ads for merge games these days. Everybody wants to merge this, merge that, merge cats, merge dragons, merge magic, merge.
I'm so confused. Sweet. So let's do that. We will, once we have a version, I'll push that out to the dev environment and then push it out to the prod environment, so long as all goes well there. And then we'll have the fancy new UI in place, which will be fun. Cool. And then the other thing that's on dev right now is the image attachments, which I haven't played around with yet. So
I already uploaded some sample images.
Yeah.
On the first row.
Cool. I'm not saying it might be good, like
images, but some of them, the ones that should probably be, there should be some in somewhere in the comments or something that we could put for the device stories page.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Probably want to put some sort of help text here because it's not like immediately clear what this choose file is for.
What, on mouse over?
Or just like a little label. Hey, look, it works. That's great. Because it just says like choose file. It doesn't say anything about like what it is necessarily, right? So like my guess is I could probably, just as easily put in like a random, I don't know, I'm trying to think. I think this is something safe.
Yeah, that works right now, but I already
loaded
the restrictions. Yeah.
Dev,
gotcha.
Device stories.
Cool.
Which file, does it do any restrictions on the file chooser?
I think he said he just put in some restrictions, so.
Yeah, it's not on the dev server yet.
Okay.
Cool. So that'll be good to put in restrictions. And then I think even just a simple label that says like, attach a picture, or something like that. I think I'll probably do the trick.
I will do
and
that.
then we might be good to go. Like that's most of it. Cool. So this is looking nice. And this is this is backed by Cloudinary, it looks like. Nice. Okay, so I should set up a Cloudinary account for Safecast then.
Do we need multiple images per comment?
I think one per is fine for now. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Is it easy or hard to add multiple? I don't know. You said you tried.
Yeah, I tried it, but it seems Cloudinary doesn't support it yet.
Okay. Yeah. So I would just do one per. I think that should do the job because
one
ultimately
is usually more than none.
Okay.
And only
Great,
half as much as two.
Nice. Take the symbols out. Make it one.
I really like the attached image.
Hey, thanks. I made it myself. Go. I'm just like signing up for this here, so I'll put my phone number on it just in case. I'm not a robot. Livecast. Yep, looks good. Oh, you need at least one symbol in the password. You could have told me that before I hit save. Phil, cool. Great account.
I abandoned making an account somewhere in the last 2 weeks because the password requirements were just too onerous.
Now we need a verification. That'll probably take a minute to come through. So anyway, I'll set that up. Oh, is there? You said there's a config file. One second.
Right.
So this is. Do you have? Where's your PR? It's not attached to this issue. It looks like.
No.
This one.
Mhm.
Let me, up so it's a little easier to see. So there's like a key in here, I guess. Let me take this off
You need to
recording for a
replace
second.
the yeah.
Good.
The cloudrunnery.yml file in the config file.
Does that? Have you checked if you can use environment variables in that file yet?
No, but I don't know how to set that up yet.
You might be able to. Like, it might even be just as simple as like doing a I forget the interpolation character that you use in like database.yaml, but anyway, yeah, let's do that. And because you can basically, it looks like it's like cloud name, API key, and secret. And then what we should be able to do is basically just have environment variables called like, you know, cloudinary cloud name, cloudinary API key, cloudinary secret. And then I can set those on the servers. And then locally, you can just set it for your own development environment or whatever to test uploads and things like that. And that way we don't have to check keys into Git, which is dangerous. So cool.
I mean, I don't plan to use Cloudinary anyway, so.
Yeah. Most of the time, you probably won't be doing much with it locally. So cool. Nice. I'll give this a proper review later, but I think that's the main thing that comes to my mind. It does seem to work. You know, probably good to put some text that says, you know, attach an image. The restrictions I think will be good. And then set the config file to use an environment variable, and then we should be in good shape. I guess it's probably Rails cloudinary environment variable. My guess, yep. If I Google it, I come up with this. Yep. It looks like you can probably just do something like that.
Oh, what was that?
So maybe prefix it with like cloudinary _ cloud name, something like that. So that way we know what it's for.
Okay.
But here's the doc. This is just Rails environment variables. This isn't like cloudinary specific. So hopefully it just works, but if it doesn't, I'm sure we can work through it. Nice. Well, looks good. Is the build done yet? It might be.
We have I think we already have an issue for this, but looking at a device story page, it's difficult to zoom in on the map because every 15 seconds the page resets and goes back to the default zoom.
Oh, it has like a refresh built in?
Apparently.
We should take that out. I wonder where that's coming from. Oh, yep, it is. Yeah, we should get that out of there. Yeah,
because by the time you get zoomed, I guess it takes me about 15 seconds to get close to street by street level zoom, and it's like, I think there it is. Whoa, but gone. Yeah,
that's not good. The refresh is also like basically useless because the data doesn't refresh that quickly anyway, and it also pounds the crap out of our Elasticsearch instance. So
if it were every 3 minutes or 5 minutes, I could see.
Yeah.
You know, because then it'd be make it about the same frequency as the data, or twice that, or half that, or something. But
is the data actually coming in every 3 minutes or 5 minutes? I thought
It's
it
like
was
every
more like
5-ish.
daily.
5 minutes typical.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
But I think some of the air sensors will have some of the devices will have a higher frequency under certain conditions. You know, large changes or really good battery charge, things like that.
That is true. And I don't think it's battery charge. I think it's large changes.
Well, but it also requires that the battery is not low.
Right, exactly.
Either way, I would just as soon take it out and people
Yeah.
can refresh the page if they want, because it makes it a lot cheaper for us in terms of infrastructure costs, because it's not, you know, this stuff ain't free. So if we have a bunch of pages out there that have 15-second refresh cycles, we even saw this because in the early days of testing the Grafana board, here, let me pull up AirNote Dev here, and I know because I pinned it to this channel. In the early days of testing this, we had like a 5-second refresh, and like Elasticsearch was like gasping for air because we all had tabs. Like I think a lot of us probably even had like multiple tabs open that were all set to 5-second refresh, and so like we had probably, you know, 5 people all issuing requests like many times per second basically. So yeah, let's kill the 15-second refresh for sure. And I think in this one we ended up just turning it off. Like if someone wants to turn a refresh on here, they can do it themselves if they would like to. Over on
where it was just now, or when you were looking at the code, it was going too fast. I didn't see where it was. But did you see where it was? The refresh.
Yeah, it's right here.
He did a search.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm on. My phone doesn't allow me to see it.
Okay.
I think your computer did not come back to life then.
No, it did not.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we should just, it's probably in the Grafana helper, my guess is where that's coming from. So we should just kill it. Because yeah, we ended up just taking off of here because it doesn't, the data doesn't come in that fast that the live refresh really makes a whole lot of sense anyway. And if we turn it on, then people will leave tabs open, and we're burning resources basically just because people open too many tabs, which is not good. So yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah, I mean, we all do it. So yeah, let's do what we can to make it not expensive. And I remember it was like inevitably, usually it's Rob is like, oh, this doesn't scale. And I'm like, it scales fine, but it doesn't scale for free. You know, like, so I can add more RAM, but and right now it's free because I work for Elastic, and so we don't have to pay a dime for that cluster. But if I was ever not working for Elastic, then I think the cluster would cost us like $100 a month at its current size. So if we add a bunch of refreshes, then it might have to be bigger, and we might be talking a couple $100 a month, which, you know, I don't think, you know, a 15-second refresh is worth a couple $100 a month. Feel free to.
Not only that, it's annoying.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just kill it. Cool. So there's that. I haven't done anything on, I guess maybe Emre, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to throw in as far as the device store replacement. I think that's pretty much it, is the image attachments. Commenting support is, I'll just check these off because they're basically done. I think we just need to, the comment support is done, and I think we'll go out with the deploy that I'm about to do for the UI. And then this one is in progress. Actually, I'll put the PR number next to the bullet as well, just in case anyone's curious, because that'll be almost done. And then that'll be the point where we need to talk to Nick about how to have the map use API instead of real time when it links to things. Anything else on that front? Emre?
Not really.
Okay.
Cool.
Another
I
problem.
mean, what is there else that I can work on?
So there is the one that we just filed, which is the refresh thing. That one would be good. There's this question around data access. This updated one might be a good one to bring home because it's not too complicated. I was poking at that, but let me just take myself off of that. I was looking at it and I didn't really make any progress. It was like, so that might be a good one. There's the Grafana maps rounding thing. Like there's definitely some stuff in that space. As I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit of a shift because it's not Rails work. It's like mostly TypeScript work. But it could be interesting if you're curious to check it out. I'd be happy to show you how that all works, and you could try to make some improvements there as well. And then the other thing, so I have this one that I'll try to sort this one out because I think it requires a level of knowledge of our different data stores that probably only I have at the moment. So I'll keep this one and I'll try to make some progress on it before the 10th anniversary. Wish me luck. And the other thing that might be interesting for you to take a look at is this sort of mapping story, which right now we have assigned to Nick. I haven't heard anything from Nick in a while. So I don't know if he's like really planning on working on this or what, but you know, we'd love to get like a good air map going because right now we don't, you know, we have like a pretty basic air map. You know, one of the things that Ray mentioned is, boy, wouldn't it be nice if like, here's my air node. And here I can see my number and then I can like zoom out and see what all the other numbers are, but this doesn't really like answer that curiosity, right? Like it's also very per device. It's not like per region. It would be awesome to have something that looks a little bit more like, I keep citing this one as sort of like my favorite example of a really nice air map where it does like the OpenGL, you know, wind patterns, which are really cool. But then the really interesting thing in my mind is it doesn't go by sensor, which we could change our query to not go by sensor as well. It goes by like geography, and so it'll group sensors together. And then so that dot that was like a 106 or 113, as I zoom in to different zoom levels, it starts to isolate the sensors out into like individual sensors, that sort of thing. So it'd be nice to get something that works a little bit more like this for our AI data. Sorry, Joe?
It decongregates them. When you zoom in, it you know, sort of compresses them together, but congregates them. I don't know.
Sure, I'll go with that. Yeah, so that's a cool feature. And so I've been poking around at like, is there something that we could use a little more off the shelf? Because I know one thing that Nick has said in the past is like, you know, if there's something like Grafana or whatever that we can just use, and like by all means, let's do that. And so I've been researching a little bit. I talked to Carto, one of the reps from Carto last night, that like, it's hard to say if that's going to make sense because they're definitely like a high class product that, you know, we would probably need to come up with some money for and stuff like that. Like they have professional services wing. Like I bet they could, you know, the professional services wing, I'm sure could figure out how to build this thing, but it might cost us money, or it would cost us money. It's just a question of how much. It did make me notice in exploring that space, I came across DeckGL was one thing, which is kind of interesting, which is like a WebGL visualization framework. And then also it led me to kepler.gl, which I think might be even related or whatever. You know, I don't know what the relationship between DeckGL and kepler.gl is, but kepler.gl appears to be like a WebGL enabled, you know, geospatial tool that we might be able to use to build an air map. Something like this, maybe not exactly like this, but something a little bit more interesting than what we have today, which is just a bunch of dots. So yeah, that's another space that could be interesting. You know, like I said, it's technically assigned to Nick right now, but I haven't heard anything from him, so I don't think it would hurt to explore what potential options are in this space. Kepler.gl appears to be free too. Like it looks like it's just like an open source tool that we could maybe leverage. So.
Yeah, I can try
nice.
poking around with it, see if I can use it. Like,
it actually kind of got me thinking. Go.
Matt, did you put your like the couple of things that you were thinking about in? Did you already put them in the API channel?
I've been putting them on the issue, and they don't go in the channel. They go into like dev updates and stuff like that. So.
Because you know, I've been scanning, but I would look more closely if I knew that they were there. I would try to, you know, check them out also.
Okay, let me.
I mean, I can look at the issue as well.
Yep.
I just haven't.
No worries. Yeah, I sent you the link so you can take a look.
see it.
Cool. Oh, the other thing that crossed my mind, like just this morning or so, is that like I know a lot of the work that Nick did for this map was in the space of tile generation. In looking at the kepler.gl stuff, it almost got me wondering if we could do dynamic interpolation like in WebGL or something like that. Like I have no idea, but my guess is that, you know, OpenGL shaders are probably pretty good at like doing this sort of thing. So like it kind of got me thinking like, I wonder if maybe even something like kepler.gl might be a way to get out of the business of doing pre-rendered tile interpolations and just having WebGL do it for us. So it could be something interesting to explore. I know building these tiles is basically what that Media Lab Mac does for us. And I tried to set it up on my Mac and haven't been successful yet, but it's a pretty complicated tool chain that makes all these interpolation tiles. So could be interesting if there's some new way to do this that would allow us to not have to maintain that old approach. So yeah, those are some things. I have other things I could throw your direction. Let me know what seems interesting to you.
Okay, I have a heads up kind of issue.
Yeah, sure.
We're thinking about the 10th anniversary event. One of the things we're going to do is, as be me and maybe one other person will be in the car throughout the event, driving around Fukushima and stopping to interview people and, you know, inserting videos of interesting things. And one of the things we want to try and do is display the output of our geigie on the car in real time, so that people can see the location of the sensor and therefore the team and the radiation level. We have permission to go into the zone, so we'll actually be going to some interesting, you know, places that are still pretty, you know, contaminated. But right now we don't really have a method for essentially live streaming an upload, you know, a geigie log file.
We do if you have a geigiecast and something to tether it to.
I thought that didn't work if it was in motion or moving.
No, it should work fine. I know Rob has done it. That's why I was trying to find Rob's, because I know Rob does this a fair bit.
I was hoping to talk to Rob about it today, but I'll, you know, get him separately, because I'm probably doing a dry run soon, and this is one of the things we want to kind of practice and make sure it's kind of well tested before the day.
Yep. Yeah, I've definitely seen him do this before, and the system should allow it just fine. So it's just a question of, I was going to try to like find an example here, but I think I'm getting there. Let's see what happens. It's like last 2 years, so I might get some weird points. It's still refreshing. Now I'll have to dig in. I know I've seen this one do it before. Too many buckets. Yeah, can't select over that many years, I guess. So, but you know, if you load it just for the last hour, the map should be capable of loading. Yeah, there it is. And it looks like, you know, he hasn't been moving around in the last hour. And I think,
the radiation is sure all over the place, though.
Is it?
Well, that's the other thing. I think in geigiecast mode, it only uploads once every few minutes, not every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. That would probably be a question to Rob, and I forget who was working on the.
So it looks like also that I'll be going into Daiichi itself that week. So that'll also be good. We tried in 2015 for the anniversary event to do that, and I had an early version. I had a Wi-Fi card in my geigie, and I had a portable hotspot that I carried into the plant. But due to a typo in an IP address, it didn't happen, or it wasn't rendered live. So yeah, we got the data the next day, but the whole idea of cutting to the, you know, where am I now, you know, during the event just didn't work out for us, because we didn't have time to do a dry run ahead of time. And it was, what happened? We wound up like with the GPS points being off on the planet by 90 degrees or something. It was some trivial weird thing that, you know, if we could filter the data and make it work, but not in the space of the 2 or 3 hours that it was live.
Yeah. Yeah, I just realized I wish I could highlight here, but Grafana doesn't have that. I have to load up Kibana first to like find you a time range. But as you can see, I mean, he's moving around with the geigiecast a fair bit. So there might be a question of like, can we make the geigiecast report more frequently? You know, I suspect there'd be a firmware update that needs to happen for the geigiecast for that. But at least the system as it stands today, as fast as the geigiecast will report, we should be able to render that for you. So it's just a question of
the hardware. I'll just have to try it.
Yep. Yeah, just a question of turning up the reporting interval.
Jim, what is the is there an idea that maybe you would read live tweets being tweeted at you, or see something else like on the livecast side channel that would be something that you could respond to, like if you're talking to people that people would be able to ask you questions to ask, or be curious about, that you could integrate into your conversation in the car?
We'd hope so. That'll probably be with Asby. He's working on that because he'll be in the passenger seat. I'm going to be in, with a steering wheel in my hand, so limited on what I can do. But I don't know. Asby also has a driver's license. We may swap, seats at some point. But there aren't too many of those kind of interactions I can predict that either one of us couldn't handle. So,
should we set up like an account for it, maybe, or at least like advertise that Asby's account is the place to ask questions?
That's being discussed over in the Safecast 10 channel on Slack. So
okay.
I think we'll get something arranged. I don't know.
Cool.
I've agreed to be, to drive the car. I'm not so good at event organization and event planning.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. I was trying to find if there's something mentioning the drive in this doc, but it doesn't look like it is. Yeah.
Definitely an interaction. Interactive would be great because we've been there so much, even if I haven't been there in the last year, that a lot of the things we drive past or might show up on the video feed, we take for granted, and could actually be a good conversation starter, and something people want to ask about. Hey, what was that, or something? I don't know.
Hey, Twitch might be interesting.
Yeah, you can see me Googling it here, right? Like I was thinking, because I think Twitch has support for mobile devices, for streaming from mobile devices. So this has me wondering, like, is there a way that we could set up a Twitch channel that, like, Asby has a device handy in the car that's on the Twitch stream.
Right.
Maybe
that would be very current, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having like a mode that people aren't using, this would bring the conversation to a lot of different people if we can advertise at the right place.
And I know, I've seen Twitch streams that do like a lot of overlaying stuff too, and so like that has me wondering, like, I have no idea how all this video streaming stuff works really, but I wonder if there might even be a way that we could get this into the video feed as well, like. Yeah, like if we could have like a Twitch stream that's basically like, your graph updating every couple of minutes, chat from people, and then like Asby's live video feed in the car. Obviously, I'm sure like a certain amount of it will just be, watching Asby bump around as the car drives.
We're going to have multiple video streams. You've got the drive recorder in the car actually has a live video mode.
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi support, so that'll work. But we also want to have, I think, something on the dash pointed into the car to see the talking heads.
Yep.
I don't know. That's a production. These are production questions that people have to work out.
Yeah. I just realized I need to jump because I have another meeting now. So I will post the recording and all that stuff. Yeah, likewise. This has been fun. Yep. Talk to y'all soon.
See you later.